Hi guys, welcome to my affordable watch collection. My name is Aviv, and today we are taking a look at one of the hottest St. Martin releases of the last few months, the St. Martin 6200, reference SN004-G, a beautiful and well-made vintage-inspired dive watch. I'll show you what comes in the box, go over all the specs and measurements, the pros and the cons. Yes, there are a few of those too, and hopefully by the end of this video, you can decide for yourselves if you want to add one of these to your own collection. I bought this watch on the Double 11 sale on AliExpress and got a pretty sweet deal on it. Instead of the regular price of $234, which itself is a good price for this watch, after all the discounts, coins and coupons, I ended up paying just under $182 for it. It just goes to show that you can get great deals on AliExpress if you know what you're doing. I made a video a long time ago on how you can save money while shopping on AliExpress. I leave a link to that video in the description of this one and in the top corner of your screen. This is the second St. Martin watch that I get to review on the channel. I have reviewed their automatic Type A Flieger as well and was very impressed with it. I'll leave a link to that video as well. Let's start by taking a look at what you can expect to get when you buy this watch from St. Martin. You'll get this hard plastic box that you might have seen before. It's nothing fancy, but it's always nice to have a box you can use again later. It is padded on the inside. You get a warranty card, an instruction manual, 2 chunky screwdrivers and a bracelet removing tool, some unidentified blue substance in a tube, either a lubricant or glue for the screws. It doesn't say in the manual. I also got a NATO strap with the watch because I bought it during a sale. It seems pretty good quality. The watch was well protected in plastic and bubble wrap, and here are the couple of links and a hang tag I took off of it. Like I said, this is a vintage style diver, specifically homaging the old 6000 series Rolex Submariners of the late 1950s, like the one worn by none other than James Bond himself, the late Sir Sean Connery. Let's take a closer look at it. The width of the case is 38mm and the bezel slightly overhangs over it at 39mm. The thickness of the case is 13mm, including the protruding crystal. The distance between the lugs is 20mm. Lug tip to lug tip is 46mm. And after I removed a couple of links, the watch weighs 132 grams. The dial is matte black and beautifully designed and executed. We have a minute track on the outer edge of the dial, printed in gold color. The hour markers are all printed with loomed material. We'll get to the loom in a moment. The 12 o'clock indice is a downwards facing triangle, rectangular buttons 3, 6 and 9, and circle indices everywhere else. Under the 12 o'clock marker, St. Martin is printed in a nice cursive font, and above the 6 o'clock marker, 200 meters or 660 feet, referring to this watch's water resistance, and automatic in a different font. That's everything on the dial, nothing too cluttered, and there are no complications other than the 3 hands telling the time. The Mercedes style hands are gold colored and highly polished. St. Martin chose to go with a DLC coating, which gives them a very distinguished reflectivity and makes them catch the light very nicely. All 3 hands seem nicely proportioned to me. The loom on the hands and the markings on the dial is old radium C3 Swiss Superluminova. It has that faux patina color that fits the age vintage theme of the watch, and that you either love or you hate. I personally love it. I think it looks great. It shines in a bright green light and seems to be evenly distributed. The lume is good, but it doesn't stand out if you compare it to some other watches I looked at on the channel, including Saint Martin's own Flieger. The watch features a very reflective ceramic dive time bezel insert. The numbers and markers on it are engraved and painted with light brown color to complement the vintage look of the dial. The downwards facing triangle at the 12 o'clock has a lumed pip with mismatching green colored lume. It is a 120 clicks unidirectional bezel with a coin edge for excellent grip. The ratchet in action is beautifully crisp and accurate, and there is absolutely no freedom or backplay. The alignment of the bezel with the dial is unfortunately not perfect, and it is misaligned ever so slightly. The way you use the dive time bezel is simple. You either align the triangle with the minute hand to calculate elapsed time, or you place it ahead of the minute hand to mark the passage of a specific time you need to track. When the minute hand reaches the triangle, you'll know that that time has passed. The watch sports a high double-domed scratch-resistant sapphire crystal with 3 layers of anti-reflective coating applied to its underside. It does give plenty of reflections though, but also some very nice visual distortion to the dial. The case is made of 316L stainless steel and features a fine brushed finish on most surfaces and highly polished chamfered edges. The quality of the different finishes and the transitions between them are done very well and actually make the watch look and feel much more expensive than it really is. The lugs have a slight curve to them, and the side profile of the watch manages to stay relatively slim. The crown at the 3 o'clock position screws down into place and has an embossed shark logo that aligns perfectly with the case. It is very easy to grip and operate, and keeping with the vintage theme, has no crown guards to protect it. When you screw it out and twist up, you can hand wind the movement, and when you pull it all the way out to the second operating position, the second hand stops and you can set the time. On the first operating position, there's a ghost position. When you rotate the crown, nothing happens, and that's because the movement has a date complication that doesn't get utilized in this watch. Some people see that ghost position as a drawback, but I honestly couldn't care less since it doesn't really interfere with the operation of the watch. The case back screws down too, and it too is made of stainless steel. It is completely sterile. There are no markings on it whatsoever. Speaking of sterile, you can order this watch with a sterile dial, with no printed text on it at all, and you can also have Saint Martin print your own logo on the dial. Powering this watch is an automatic Seiko NH35, a robust movement designed and manufactured by one of the largest and most decorated watch corporations in the world, a movement that is being used in many watches today, from $50 to $500. It has 24 jewels and it beats at 21,600 beats per hour, making the seconds hand tick 6 times each second, giving it that smooth sweeping effect instead of the ticking you would see on a quartz-powered watch. The official stated accuracy is between -20 to +40 seconds per day, but in reality you can definitely expect it to perform better than that. The NH35 both hacks and hand winds, and sports the DiaShock shock protection system that will keep the movement safe against most drops and blows that your watch might encounter in everyday activities. The bracelet continues the vintage theme of the watch. It is constructed by 5 links held together with protruding rivets and screws. The middle links are nicely brushed and the edge links are highly polished. These are all solid stainless steel links, and so are the end links. And the end links have protruding male middle links that add to the overall length of the watch, putting it at 53 mm total. There's also a weird looking indent on those protruding middle links. I'm not sure why. The clasp is very good. In fact, it is by far the best clasp I've ever seen on an AliExpress watch. It is fully milled and has a brushed finish and the hexagon St. Martin logo crisply engraved on top. It operates beautifully and closes very securely with a double pusher security system. It also has 4 holes for micro adjustment, which on watches from earlier manufacturing batches, like the one I got, had an issue with the rivets of the last link of the bracelet interfering with using the 3rd and 4th adjustment holes. St. Martin have since then fixed this issue, and if you order this watch now, you will get it on the revised bracelet. If you already have the watch with this bracelet issue, you can contact St. Martin and they will send you an updated replacement link for free, and in fact mine is already on its way. On wrist, the St. Martin Vintage Diver looks amazing. The size is great. It doesn't look like a 38mm watch though, but rather like a 39mm watch thanks to the slightly larger bezel. This is a watch that should wear great on many different wrist sizes. It doesn't look too small and not too big either. The 46mm lug to lug with those slightly curving lugs should wear great on smaller wrists too, but we do have to take into consideration the protruding end links as well, and while it's not an issue on my 7-inch wrist, it might overhang off of smaller wrists. Legibility here is good, the hands contrast well against the dark dial, and there shouldn't be a problem telling the time in most lighting conditions, even with all the reflections coming from the crystal. The bracelet is very comfortable as well. It feels nice and smooth against my skin, and there is no hair pulling or any kind of discomfort. As expected from a black dial diver, this watch is quite the strap monster, and it manages to look awesome on pretty much any strap you throw it on. Let's go over the pros and cons of this watch as I see them. Let's start with the cons this time. First con for me are those protruding male end links. Besides making the watch less suitable for those with smaller wrists, that little dent on the tops of them seems out of place and a bit ugly, I have to admit. St. Martin did fix this eyesore, and if you buy this watch now, you will get better designed end links with a more natural curve to those middle links. Next con, and we are still looking at the bracelet adjustment system is a bit of a problem. You need to have a really good hand-eye coordination to screw both rivets at the same time, and I have to tell you it wasn't an easy thing to do, and very frustrating too. However, once you're done with it, you don't really need to do it again, so that's probably okay if you manage to do it without scratching the bracelet. Next couple of cons have to do with the bezel, and I already mentioned them. The mismatch in lume pip color and the misalignment of the bezel. I did watch other reviews of this watch though, where they had their bezels perfectly aligned and the lume pip in a matching color, so make of it what you will. Another thing I can nitpick about is the assortment of logos found on the watch. We basically have 3 different logos, a cursive printing on the dial, an embossed shark on the crown, and an engraved hexagon logo on the clasp. All of them look great individually, but it's just weirdly inconsistent. Let's finish on a positive note with the pros, the benefits of this watch. First of all, this is just a gorgeous watch. Very well designed and very good looking. St. Martin managed to really capture the vintage look and feel of the icons of the 1950s while providing us with a modern, well-spec'd watch. They used all the right materials you want to see in a watch in this price point. Complete stainless steel construction, box double dome sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel insert, DLC coated gilt hands, and an automatic Seiko movement. The bracelet, despite having a couple of flaws, still is pretty amazing, and you won't find anything like it on a sub $500 watch. It is very well engineered and executed, it is unique, and its finishing is very, very good. And speaking of very good finishing, that is consistent throughout the entire watch, and it is finished beautifully to a high standard all around, making it a very dressy and expensive looking watch, and I would even go as far as saying a valid affordable alternative to Tudor Black Bay Heritage. 200 meters of water resistance make it a functional tool watch as well, a reliable companion you can take with you to any sporting activity. This watch offers great value for your money, and if you want to own one too, I will put a link for you to buy it on AliExpress in the description of this video, as well as links to some of the watch straps I used in this video and some other cool straps I really like. These will be affiliate links that will not cost you anything extra, but will go a long way in helping this channel grow. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my affordable watch collection and hit the notification bell for more affordable watches related content. You can also follow me on Instagram and get to know me and my collection a little bit better, get all the news about the channel, and connect with me on a more personal level. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy one of these two as well. Here is a quick link to my review of the San Martin Flieger. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.